On a cold morning in occupied Poland, while millions were being crushed under fear, one man made a decision so dangerous that even hardened soldiers would have stepped back. He did not charge with a rifle. He did not command an army. He walked forward, calmly, into a place everyone else was trying to escape. And years later, when survival seemed impossible, this same man did something almost no one else ever did. He walked away from hell itself. This is the true story of a World War II hero who walked away when others couldn't, and whose courage remained hidden for decades. In September 1939, the world changed fast. Germany invaded Poland on the first day of the month. Within weeks, Warsaw was under siege. Streets burned. Civilians fled. The Polish army fought hard, but was overwhelmed by speed, air power, and armour. If you want more content like this, subscribe now and comment below. As the country collapsed, something darker followed. Arrests, roundups, disappearances. The German occupation was not just military control, it was systematic terror. People vanished overnight. Entire families were removed from their homes. No one knew exactly where they were taken. Only rumours spread, whispered in fear. By early 1940, one name began to circulate through occupied Poland with dread: Auschwitz. At first, people thought it was just another prison camp. Then stories came back: men beaten, forced labour, starvation, executions. No one returned for long. The place sat near the town of Auschwitz in southern Poland. Trains went in. Almost nothing came out. The Polish underground needed answers. They needed proof. They needed someone inside. That someone was Captain Witold Pilecki of the Polish army. Pilecki was not reckless. He was not young and naive. He was born on May 13, 1901, and had already fought in World War I and the Polish-Soviet War. He was a trained officer, a family man, and a calm thinker. By 1940, he was part of the Polish resistance, known as the Secret Polish Army. When the idea was raised that someone should allow themselves to be arrested and sent to Auschwitz, silence filled the room. Everyone understood what it meant: almost certain death. No rescue, no guarantee of contact, just suffering. Pilecki volunteered. On September 19, 1940, in Warsaw, during a German street roundup known as a łapanka, Pilecki stepped into the crowd. German soldiers surrounded civilians, checking papers, beating those who resisted. Pilecki carried false documents under the name Tomasz Serafiński. He did not run. He did not hide. He was arrested, beaten, and loaded onto a truck. Days later, he arrived at Auschwitz. He was given prisoner number 4859. From the first hours inside the camp, Pilecki understood that Auschwitz was not just a prison. It was a machine built to break people fast. Prisoners were beaten on arrival. Many were killed within days. Food was almost nothing. Work was endless. Disease spread everywhere. SS guards ruled by fear and random violence. A single glance, a wrong step, could mean death. Pilecki learned fast. Survival depended on discipline, silence, and careful observation. He memorized names, numbers, routines. He watched how guards rotated, how prisoners were assigned work, how punishment blocks operated. While others focused only on surviving the day, Pilecki focused on building something dangerous: a resistance network inside Auschwitz. By late 1940, he began recruiting quietly. Only Poles at first. Trusted men. Former soldiers. Workers with access to different parts of the camp. The network was called ZAO, the Union of Military Organizations. Members passed information secretly, shared food, and helped weaker prisoners survive selections. They gathered evidence of crimes, executions, medical experiments, mass deaths. Pilecki knew the outside world had to know. Auschwitz was not a rumour. It was a death factory in progress. Messages were smuggled out in incredible ways. Prisoners released after serving sentences carried reports hidden in clothing. Civilian workers passed notes. Later, a radio transmitter was built inside the camp, using stolen parts. It was one of the most dangerous acts possible. If discovered, everyone involved would be tortured and killed. Yet the reports went out. By 1941 and 1942, Pilecki's information reached the Polish government in exile in London. The reports described starvation, beatings, and mass executions. They warned that Auschwitz was expanding, that transports were increasing, that something even worse was coming. The Allies received this information. Intelligence officers read it. Some believed it. Others found it hard to accept. The scale was beyond imagination. Inside Auschwitz, conditions grew worse. In 1942, large numbers of Jewish prisoners began arriving. Gas chambers were constructed. Crematoria expanded. Selections became daily events. Smoke rose constantly. The smell of burning bodies filled the air. Prisoners understood now. Auschwitz was designed for mass murder. Pilecki faced a terrible truth. Staying inside longer might mean dying before he could do more. He also knew that the Allies were not acting on the information fast enough. One last idea formed in his mind: escape. No one escaped Auschwitz easily. The camp was surrounded by barbed wire, guard towers, dogs, and patrols. Escape attempts often ended with public executions. Entire prisoner blocks were punished if one man ran. Still, Pilecki believed that a detailed report delivered personally could change everything. On the night of April 26, 1943, after more than 2.5 years inside Auschwitz, Pilecki made his move. He and 2 other prisoners, Jan Redzai and Edward Ciesielski, were working the night shift at a camp bakery outside the main fence. They overpowered a guard, cut phone lines and fled into the darkness. They ran for hours through forests and fields, chased by dogs and patrols. At any moment, a gunshot could have ended it. But they kept moving. By morning, they reached a safe house. Pilecki was free. He walked away from Auschwitz. When Pilecki reached Warsaw, he wrote a detailed report, page after page, names, dates, numbers, methods. He described gas chambers, crematoria, mass starvation and executions. He urged the Allies to act. Bomb the camp. Destroy the rail lines. Do something. Again, the reports went to London. Again, nothing happened. In August 1944, as the Soviet army approached Poland, the Polish resistance launched the Warsaw Uprising. Pilecki fought openly this time as a company commander in the Home Army. For 63 days they battled German forces street by street. The city was destroyed. Civilians were slaughtered. When the uprising failed, Pilecki was captured and sent to a German prisoner of war camp. He survived again. In 1945, the war ended. Poland was liberated, but not free. The Soviet-backed communist government took control. Former resistance fighters were now seen as enemies. Pilecki faced another choice. He could leave the country. Many did. He chose to stay. Once more, he joined an underground network, this time against the new regime. He gathered information on political arrests, torture, and executions carried out by communist security forces. History repeated itself. Different uniforms, same terror. In May 1947, Pilecki was arrested by the Polish secret police. He was tortured brutally, fingernails torn out, beatings, isolation. Still, he refused to betray others. During his trial, the charges were false: espionage, treason. The verdict was decided in advance. On May 25, 1948, Witold Pilecki was executed with a shot to the back of the head in a Warsaw prison. He was 47 years old. His body was buried in an unmarked grave. For decades, his name was erased. His reports were hidden. His story was buried along with him. Only after the fall of communism did the truth begin to surface. Documents were released. Witnesses spoke. The man who walked into Auschwitz voluntarily, who built resistance inside a death camp, who escaped to warn the world, was finally recognized. Witold Pilecki did not walk away because it was easy. He walked away because he had to. He walked away carrying the truth when millions could not. His courage was quiet. His actions were precise. His legacy is one of the clearest examples of moral strength in World War II. When others were trapped by fear, by silence or by death, this man walked away from the darkest place on earth, not to save himself, but to save others. And even when the world failed to listen, he never stopped standing his ground. This was a World War II hero who walked away when others couldn't. If you want more content like this, subscribe now and comment below.